Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Aries. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread with the Thoth deck, and then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Shadow deck to see if there's anything we should be aware of that's happening maybe in the background or any kind of underlying energies or anything like that. So let's just see what happens. Alright, so this is a reading for the sign of Aries. Let's see what messages we have for Aries. That's your sun, your moon, your rising, anywhere in your placement. This is just channeling the energy of Aries. And as always, whatever interpretations that you get, even if they disagree with what I say, go with your own intuition. Alright, this should be a self-reflective exercise. So whatever resonates with you, take that interpretation. I'm just giving my interpretation. Okay. So I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're watching this in the morning, hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you're watching this in the evening or afternoon, I hope that everything is going well so far. Alright, so let's see what we have for the sign of Aries. Okay, let's see, we have, nice, we have a 2 of Wands crossed by the Hierophant. In the recent past, we have the 7 of Pentacles. In the future, we have the Princess of Wands. In the unconscious energy, we have the Prince of Discs. In our conscious energy, we have the Art card, or the Temperance card. In your present energy, we have the Queen of Swords. In the environment, we have the Knight of Swords. And what you are afraid of, or what challenges you, we have the Nine of Swords. And lastly, we have the 4 of Wands and the likely outcome. So we're going to see what's on the bottom of this deck after we go through what the rest of the spread is saying. This will be representing what we don't see coming. So let's see what we have so far. So we've got 1, 2, I'm just seeing 2 major arcana, not so bad. The Hierophant and the Art card. In terms of other cards here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards. It's a decent bit of court cards. As far as overall energy, we have, let's see, for fire, we have 1, 2, 3 for the Suit of Wands. For water, we have no water, okay. And for earth, we have 1, 2 earth cards for the Suit of Pentacles. And let's see, for air, we have 1, 2, okay. So, like I said, no water energy, 4 court cards. Everything else is a little balanced. Again, we have no water here, no cup cards. So let's see what we have going on here for the sign of Aries. So, in our present energy, here we have in our present moment, we have the 2 of Wands. This is usually a card of some kind of choice. Maybe you've got some sort of journey that you're going on, or some project that you're about to embark on, something you're about to start, and you haven't quite mapped out everything you need to do. You're just sort of at that starting point. This is the beginning, and you've got some sort of barrier to go through. So this is a new, you know what the journey is. It's not like a whole new opportunity, but how you're going to plot out your course is not necessarily made immediately clear. And so here that you're crossed by the Hierophant, I'm thinking that perhaps your decision is likely related to, with your path forward, are you going to be following what is sort of expected of you? Are you going to go along with what is deemed sort of the natural path by society, or are you going to go your own way? I think this is how, at least I'm interpreting what this decision is. So whatever this project is that you're beginning, I think that you are going to be diverging over whether you are going to do things the normal way or you're going to do them some sort of unconventional way. So that's kind of nice. It's not a bad decision to have to make. Here in the recent past, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is a card of showing that you're putting in effort with something and you're not necessarily seeing the results. Doesn't mean that it's not working. It's just that you're not really getting insight into whether what you are doing is working or not working. So it might be a dead end, and this card is usually representative in some way of the worry that you are reaching a dead end. But it doesn't even though it's the card of failure, it doesn't mean that this is a loss. It's just that you're not really seeing the fruits of your labor. You're putting in the time and the effort, but you're not getting what you want out of it, or at least you're not seeing what you want out of it. So I think what is happening here in the present moment is now you're getting to a point where you have to decide, are we going to keep doing what we're doing, or are we going to mix it up? Are we going to keep following the rules and do things the way we are supposed to, or are we going to diverge into our own methods or try something radically different that may or may not be successful, but at least is different? So that's not so bad, but here we have in the future the Princess of Wands. What I'm thinking is likely then the outcome of the choice that you're trying to make is I think that you are kind of desiring to let go of doing things the way you're expected to do them. I think the unconventional way is the way that is seemingly more appealing to you, and that's why you want to just give in to your passions and give in to doing things in a way that seems more exciting, potentially more fruitful. Okay, so I feel like that's a pretty natural progression of events there. Here in your unconscious energy, we have the Prince of Discs. So I don't think that this is saying that by doing things in your own way, you're not willing to put in the effort or learn new skills in order to make what you want to accomplish actually happen. I think this is a card representing that you are motivated, that even if you are not going to do things the way you're supposed to do them, you're still going to put in the effort to figure out that if you go this unconventional route, you're still going to take the time to make sure that you're actually doing something with skill. And I'm getting a sense that you might be a little bit of maybe a perfectionist here, and so you're willing to put in the time and the effort. I mean, you have in the past, you just haven't been seeing the results you want. So I think this is saying that, underneath everything, you're still motivated to put in the effort to work and try to get whatever it is you're trying to accomplish started, but you're realizing that in this next sort of leg of this journey, this next sort of portion that you're going to have to go through, you are thinking about breaking the rules. And, that's not so bad. Sometimes if you want to do great things, you have to do them in unconventional ways. And here, crowning everything, we have the Art card. This is the Temperance card in the Rider-Waite deck. And this is a card of putting different things together and forging some new results out of maybe the creativity and the logic and the emotion, the sort of dual nature of whatever it is you're trying to produce, forging those things together to make something great. And again, I think what's happening here is you're in a situation where you want to see better results. You're more inclined to try something new. So I think you're motivated to try and figure out new creative ways to be successful. And I think that you are very actually aware of the fact that you are not really that inclined to follow things the traditional way. That you want to start, building something new by forging together new ideas of other things that you are knowledgeable of and put them together in some new creative way and see if that is going to allow you to be successful in whatever it is that you are trying to do here. So I think you are going to create art by doing a very unconventional way, or using an unconventional way to mix all these skills and things you've learned along the way. And I think instead of getting these sort of mixed or less than desirable results, you're going to create something artistic and beautiful out of it. I think you don't want to go this path, but perhaps maybe you are still a little concerned about, not playing by the rules, so to speak. So I have a feeling that's what this is going to be telling us over here. Okay, so right. So what we're seeing over here is the Queen of Swords in your present energy. And I think this is telling me, again, that you don't really want to be following the rules, but you are conscious of the fact that it is not traditional, obviously, to not be following the rules. They would not be the rules otherwise. So I think you're in a position where you are realizing that you are wanting to ditch the sort of traditional method here, but you're a little bit concerned with what that's going to mean. I think you're open to it. You are not like coldly rejecting the fact that this is not going to work if you don't follow the rules. But you're not ignorant to the fact that whatever you are going to be working on is going to be difficult. But I think you're approaching it with a sort of open, receptive attitude. You're willing to break these rules and or do things in this unusual way, however unusual that may be for you in your situation. Um, so you're not just turned off by the fact that this is definitely going to be something potentially difficult because you're breaking the rules. So you're approaching that difficulty with a sort of nurturing and uh, sort of a nice calm demeanor, I think, as you realize that this won't be easy, but you're gonna have to do something difficult here. In the environment, we have the Knight of Swords. So I'm thinking that maybe those around you also realize that whatever it is you're working on and the way you're going to do it, you're going to present certain difficulties by trying to be non traditional, and that's not bad. But I'm thinking that in your environment, you're maybe surrounded by people that are a little less receptive to it than you are. People that are going to be like, hey, that's not how that's done. That's not the way that's supposed to be. I think you're a little bit more open and receptive to that, where the people around you are probably being a little bit more critical. And I have a feeling that all of that is going to weigh on you in a very intense and unpleasant way. Even though you are open and receptive to trying new things, I think because of the environment or the people that you are around, this is bringing to you a certain amount of anxiety. You know you don't want to follow the natural path. You know you want to do something creative and different, but that is definitely to me signaling that there is some concern. There is a little bit of like you're willing to put the time in, learn these new methods, but you're realizing that that's still going to add complications that are going to bring some level of anxiety to your life. But hey, sometimes difficult things are not easy. Or usually, well, of course, difficult things are not easy. That's what makes them difficult. But usually, doing great things requires you to do something that is difficult, something that is not easy, that is going to challenge you. And I think here we have with the Four of Wands, the completion that you're going to see here, I think is when all is said and done, I think you're going to really build something that you're proud of, something that you can put yourself around and say, hey, look, I did this my way. I did this in a way that I feel good about. It was not easy, but you're going to put in the effort to build that nice, strong foundation to learn those new skills so that even if you don't do things in the way that you are expected to do them, you're still going to do them in a great way. And you're going to build something that you really do feel very happy about. And you're going to have some long term, when all of this is said and done, I think you're going to look back and celebrate on the fact that you did things not necessarily the easy way, but you did them in a way you felt good about. So that feels pretty awesome. That feels nice. Let's see what we don't see coming at the bottom of the deck. So, okay, that again, this is signaling to me that you have some doubts. I think in the future, what you're going to build is you're going to be happy about. You're going to look back and celebrate the situation because you've done it this way. But there is still some issues here of maybe there's some details that you have not fully looked at. So maybe you do still want to listen to the not necessarily naysayers, but the people who around you who are giving you the cold hard truth. Work with them. I mean, this is the Queen and the Knight. They work together, you and the people that you are around. But let these people, when they're pointing out sort of shortcomings in whatever it is you want to try, realize that things may not always look as good to you as they do to them. There may be some issues that to you look like really nice, beautiful situations, but when all is said and done, when you take your glasses off or put your glasses on perhaps and look more closely at the situation, you realize that what was looking like a nice, beautiful, maybe a 9 of cups of some sort is really this more sort of stale, rancidy 7 of cups. That really the thing that you're looking for, or some of the details of what you're working on, may not be quite as good as you expect them to be from the get-go. And I don't think this is, again, something to be discouraged about. Just realize that you are going to have some anxieties that you're doing things in the wrong way, but you are going to do great things that you're going to be happy about. Just be realistic and always be on your guard to make sure that things really are going to work out in a way that is as good as you hope they're going to be. And I think you're the kind of person that's going to be willing to put that time and effort in. Just be wary about certain specific details may not always work out exactly as you plan, but don't let that discourage you. Okay, that's what I'm getting from this. So Let's see what we get from the shadow deck. Let's see if we get anything new that we can infer from here. So let's shuffle this for a minute. So we're just going to pull 3 cards from here, see what we get, and then we'll see what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let us see. What else does Aries need to be aware of? Oop, not the best shuffle now. Let's try that again. Okay, so okay, let's let the Prince of Discs help us out a little bit. Oh, nope, not again. Alright. 3rd time's the charm, right? Alright, so let's try one more good shuffle. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we get. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the 5 of Spheres, and the 6 of Wands. So again, we see the Knight of, well, actually, this is the Thoth Knight of Swords, which would be the king in this deck. So here we have the Knight, the Rider-Waite Knight, so this would be the Prince of Swords that's in your background negative energy here. And I don't mean negative in a bad sense, just, you know, sort of in the energy possible world of feelings, thoughts. It's sort of the, you know, what you would not necessarily be as consciously aware of, but is still sort of affecting you. I'm thinking that, well, maybe you are still, or there are other people around you that are imprinting upon you a little bit of sort of intellectual negativity about not doing things by the rules. Again, I think you feel good about the fact that you want to do things your own way, but there's still a little bit of this anxiety and concern about overthinking it, and don't overthink it, right? Don't let that keep you from creating art, creating something fantastic by doing it differently. You know, be conscious of what it is that you need to be worried about. Make sure that you're not overlooking details. Don't just rush into things also. This can sometimes be a card of someone who is just, you know, cutting through forward very quickly, and, you know, make sure you check the details, make sure that things really are working out or playing out the way that you are hoping they will be. And if they don't, adjust. You know, you don't have to play by the rules, but that doesn't mean that you can't also sort of test and adjust and use a more scientific method in your progress. Here, the 5 of Spheres, I think this is representing that you are, again, concerned that this will not work out initially as well as hoped, and there probably will be a period where things are more difficult than you would expect or hope them to be. But the 5 of Spheres is the 5 of Coins, 5 of Pentacles, however you want to describe the suit. This is, you know, some kind of, like, you know, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, we see people out in the cold. This is people that are maybe being ostracized, or they're down on their luck. But again, this is a temporary setback. This is just temporary setbacks. You are willing to put in the time and the effort to make great things. Just realize that, again, here, I mean, in the past, you've been used to things not really working out as fast as you hope they will be. So realize that if things don't go well in some particular portion of whatever you're working on, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be that way. Again, be careful. Don't be blindsided by things that are not as good as you hope they're going to be, but don't let that discourage you from continuing to refine your process and do better and better things. Because here we have the 6 of Wands. This is the victory success card. This is, you know, you're going to come out of this situation in a more positive attitude. I think you are concerned about this not going well, but I think there's also a part of you that knows that as long as you are true to yourself and whatever you're working on, it's going to end well, and you're going to be proud of what you built. So let's see what we have, and we don't see coming on the shadow deck. We have the Knight of Cups, and this is usually like a Prince Charming coming in to sort of present some kind of offer, whether it's not necessarily a Prince Charming coming in to give you a love offer, but, you know, someone that's going to give you some sort of emotional support and help you through the difficult situation you're in. So I think you're in a place where you're trying to do something non-conventional, or do something in a non-conventional way. you're concerned about how that's going to play out, and I think people around you are also concerned about that. Let those people help you, and realize that there could be someone or some offer or some sort of opportunity that is going to present to you a way to maybe not necessarily succeed and get through the situation, but something that's going to help support you as you get through the difficult growing pains of trying to figure out how to do this in whatever way you choose to do it. So that's a pretty good reading. I think this is a pretty optimistic. You got a rough patch, but you got a journey, and every journey is going to have difficulties to get through. But you're going to get to the other side as long as you stay true to yourself, and things will work out. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. I hope that was helpful. Again, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.